Is back in, and it just appears the software was just having a small issue there. So hopefully we're all good, Carl.
Hopefully so. Hopefully
Much
we
better.
are back to normality. There we go.
So just some issue there with the streaming software, but we're back just in time for qualifying as well. So apologies to everyone there who connected and reconnected. Hopefully you all jump back in and join us as we get into qualifying here.
Yes, very much so. So getting everything back set up in the studio as well. So just bear with us for one moment as we click on the buttons and tweak on the knobs and get everything right back to how it should be. But we are going to be going for a lap around here, the Monster Mile, the last great Coliseum, Dover International Speedway.
Yeah, so we might jump on board here with Aidan Schultz this week. So let's jump on the roof of the 52 and head around for a lap or two.
Yeah, so first lap is going to be premium on tyres. You can sometimes find the second lap tyre temperature builds up a little bit here at Dover. So just getting it right here. So getting into the final set of corners now, lifting off the accelerator a little bit. And now we're going to come across with a start-finish line for our second lap. So hopefully this will be a good one for the banker lap. And then this one can push a little bit more. So dropping down nice and low. You can see all of that black stuff on the bottom there. That's where the grippy section is. That's where the rubber is then. Aidan Schultz jumping up to P1 at the moment, so good first lap from him. Coming along now to turns 3 and 4. Again, just lifting off a little bit here, cruising round down to about 250 kilometers per hour through this corner. Back on the accelerator, just got to be a bit careful, make sure it doesn't get too tail happy. Across the line we go, and do we get a better time? We do. We jump up indeed. To a 2:2918. Very nice lap there from Aidan Schultz.
Absolutely, just pipping out Danny G there. We're going to quickly jump on here with Andrew Dyson instead, and let's have a look at how Dyso's doing. He's done his first lap at 22.94, so currently sitting P2. He's pulled out of that lap. So
he's pretty happy with that one.
Is done. Bring the timing tower up. Mirko Dortnak's done a good job. He's currently running up in P6. Let's have a look at who is about to run. Josh Mickelmore out on track. So let's have a look at how Josh gets on in the 31 entry.
Yeah, I hope for a good qualifying lap tonight, somewhere to get him nice and sort of... You want to be relatively high up. Lachlan O'Keefe having another good qualifying result in P5 as well. So again, good speed over the single lap stint for Lockie, and it just needs to get some that consistency in there as well. Just a little bit of consistency and luck for himself. But Aidan Schultz, absolute blinder of a lap with that 22.918, much faster than his practice time as well, which is a strong showing. That was a real a real hidden lap from him. He pulled that one out of nowhere, so really good result there. Hamish Gallagher jumping up to P5 now. How is...
Josh's first lap there not counting, so he obviously touched the wall. Second one not so much, with a 23.07 getting him up into P5 just ahead of teammate Hamish Gallagher, who's just about to complete his second lap. Does he improve? No, he doesn't, so 23.29 second lap around. Jason Martin, the truck specialist, is on his way. Let's have a look at him.
Watching out for Mitch Trucks. Jason Martin is out there in a 21, so watch him go round. Michael Sculler jumping up to P5 now. P5 seems to be the place where everybody wants to jump up to at the moment. Will we see another driver jump up to P5, or will we see somebody do a little bit better? Martin getting around for his first lap, jumping him up to 22nd place. I imagine this is going to be the fast lap. You think he's just gone a little bit slower, just getting a little bit of a slower build-up of warmth in his tyres, so he's going for that second lap for the speed. How will this one go for Mr. Martin? It is much better. It is much better. It is P1. Jason Martin absolutely nailing that.
You'd almost put money on it. A cracking lap from Schultzy, but Martin just pipping him there by 2/100ths. So it is going to be a bit of a mix. Danny G, as you said, sneaking up in there as well. But we've got Mitch Motorsport, and then we've got Aidan Schultz in the Aussie Esport entry, followed by Andrew Dyson, DPR, and then another Mitch Motorsport entry. So got 51 seconds left now. Riley Curtis is, he was out on track. Jamie Budd looks like he's about to put in a lap.
Yeah, he's just going for his first lap now. So we'll see how Jamie Budd can do. And he's been having some relatively good runs as of late. Really sort of, it's been good to see that team coming in as well and setting some good lap times and sort of getting themselves affiliated with the truck series. How does this first lap go? wait for the times to come through. So not a blistering first lap, but we saw with Jason Martin that sometimes setting that slightly slower fast lap just to get your eye in and then pushing it on the second lap is the way to go. So will we see Jamie Bug manage to pull it up a little bit higher from this one? He's going to be surely hoping so. Looks like a nice clean lap so far, nice and close to the wall there. This should be a little bit faster. It does indeed, jumps up to 33rd place.
Yeah, it just sounded like he was struggling a little bit with the back end of the truck there, but still managing to improve his lap time. So that is all she wrote. So let's have a look as we get the leader board up on the side here. Have a look at qualifying, as I said at the top of the show, 130 laps here this evening for our drivers to see how they can get around, see if they can get their way through and make this one count. Jason might be looking to convert a strong qualifying performance there, but he's going to have plenty of stiff competition tonight.
He is indeed. So on the front row, we've got Martin and Schultz. Row 2 is Dyson and Danny G. Third row, we have Williams and Mickelmore. Fourth is Skurlock and Gallagher. Fifth, we have Urquio and Vickers. Sixth row is Dortonac and Hunter. Seventh, we have Witcher and Russell. Eighth row is Finley and Maxfield. Ninth row, we have Donnelly and Schroeder. 10th row, we have Christopherberg and Troy Davidson. Where am I? 10th row, 11th row. Howe and Patton. 12th, we have Mcleod and Jaeger. 13th is Norman Clark and Aaron Hayden. 14th, we have Griffiths and Caldwell, a new face to the series, Otis Caldwell. We have Dave Douglas, Aaron Dillon behind him, Jamie Budd, Philip Howe, Luke Georgeson, Luke Trahair. 2 Luke's towards the back, Matty Raymond, Brent Hobbs, Gary Wellman, Riley Curtis, and Igor Burkick. So 39 trucks out there tonight, possibly. So it is an absolute bumper field. That is a lot of trucks to be out there. So that's going to make things very interesting indeed.
Yeah, absolutely it is. So quick, have a look at the weather here. 24 degrees, 36 on track as well. So it's going to be a pleasant evening, that is for sure. But I'm just having a look here as they form up on the grid. Just waiting for Michael Skurlock to jump in. I think this is something that Mickey likes to do. He does like to have a look at the I don't know, just the data for the car or something, and likes to get in the last one to be into the server. Just seems to be the way he rolls.
I think it's more a pre-race comfort break. If memory serves me correct. Because I have seen Mr. Skurlock miss the start a couple of times, because he does like to take a pre-race comfort break sometimes, and he has missed the start before from that strategy.
Good evening, High Glue. It could be because we had some trouble at the top of the stream. That is why Twitch is black screen, but hopefully not. Certainly up on YouTube if you want to jump across there. So let's have a look at them as they roll around.
Good old technology. It's amazing when it works.
Must be the night for it.
We said it was going to be one of those
nights. We'd hoped that it wasn't going to be one of those nights, but of course technology and the computer always has another idea. But we've got all those bugs out now, and we're ready to go here. 130 laps at Dover. It's going to be a quick one. Expected race time around about 60 minutes. So let's see who will be the winner at the end. Cautions tonight, hopefully not too many, as we're about to get set to go green, and it is green. And away goes Jason Martin. Aidan Schultz gets a reasonable start as well. Looks like Matty G might have just got a little bit of a wheel spin at the start there, with Josh Mickelmore getting underneath him in the 31. Andrew Dyson with a good start as well. So at the front, nice and tidy. We've got a big field here. They're just going to be sorting themselves out as we head around through this first lap. It is all stable at the front and throughout the pack at this stage. Scott Griffiths.
We've got the car going round. We've got a caution out as I can see somebody up in the wall. It is Scotty Griffiths. Unfortunately, Scotty Griffiths getting caught up on the first lap. So he's just had a little bit of a moment, I think, with Dave Douglas in the 199 possibly. No, sorry, it was not Dave. Sorry to throw that on you, Dave. It was
looked like
it was Otis Caldwell. So new entry there, just got a little bit underneath. So just a tiny bit of contact as Scotty Griffiths just got a little bit checked up in the corner. Caldwell had nowhere to go there, unfortunately, and just got caught up with him, and up and around he goes.
That's unfortunate. Not got the start that he would have hoped for. Obviously, 3 laps in. Get that tap, but he's going to head into pit lane. A couple others jumping in as well.
Yeah, a few
Gary
drivers
Woman.
deciding.
Sorry, mate.
Oh, sorry, yeah, a few drivers decided to come in for, I think, probably a little top up of
Just a
fuel.
little splash and dash.
That's it, and so I'm just watching Mcleod. He is taking tyres as well, so he's just going to take a full service, and you might as well, if you're going to come in, you might as well just get everything done, just so it's all there, because there's no tyre limit in the truck series, but he has got those fresh tyres on, and as well as that little top of fuel, and that could be useful if we get a long green stint here.
Yeah, I guess what are we expecting tonight? Is it generally a caution fest in the trucks at Dover? Is it a pretty clean one normally?
It's one of those weird tracks that when it goes right, you're almost surprised at how clean it is. So usually you get the odd early caution, and then you get a nice long green section. We have seen here in the past with some really long green periods catching drivers out and causing them to run longer than they wanted to, and sometimes having the odd tyre blowout and things like that. So it can catch you out a little bit with just how it can run here at Dover. And the driver's expecting to make probably a single stop here tonight, just for a little top up of fuel. So most of them will be sort of coming in sort of later in the stint if they need to. Of course, it does depend on how many cautions there are if you do need to come in. You might be able to just make it on fuel if you do get a lot of cautions tonight.
Interesting. Well, we'll see obviously how that does play out throughout the evening. But effectively a restart, a new start to the race here. Of course, only 3 laps in before that caution happened, or 2 laps in, I should say, before that caution happened. So it is a fresh start for everyone. Looks like Scotty Griffiths is going to spend a fair bit of time in pit lane. Unfortunately, his night is probably over, I suspect. This is a little bit of jostling. The pace car will go in. Safety car will go in, I should say.
Yeah, you had it right the first time.
I did. What's going on? I don't think I got enough sleep over the weekend. Alrighty, we're about to go green again. It is Schultz and Martin at the front. Martin in control of the field, and he goes straight away and gets a good start, but everyone goes with him this time. They've all called it. It looks like Dyson got slightly better start than Schultz on the high line. He's going to move up into P2. Danny G and Josh Mickelmore as well got good starts, along with Stephen Williams and Hamish Gallagher, who has got up another position. Mickey Skurlock has dropped one down into 8th, but it is Jason Martin leading us away here at Dover.
Yeah, really good start from Dyson. He just absolutely picked that one right. Stephen Williams getting a good start as well, just running up on the high side, getting past Josh Mickelmore. So Stevie Dub just moving his way slightly up the field as well. There are a few cars side by side a little bit further down. They are running 2 by 2 at the moment. A little bit close for comfort for a few of them, trying to just break away a little bit, trying to get some room to slide into a single file position if they can. You can run side by side here, but it is usually the slower way round. It's not always going to be faster, and it can sometimes lead to heartbreak as well. But all doing a good job so far, keeping those trucks relatively clean and out of trouble. Look at Jaden Russell. He's got a bit of a run at the moment on Ben Vickers, trying his best. Can't quite do it in the Synergy team. Of course, Jaden Russell taking his first victory out last time on the dirt. Meanwhile, Andrew Dyson is getting a bit of pressure put on him by Aidan Schultz. So Aidan Schultz wants that second place back. He's going to try and put the pressure on, see what he can do.
Yeah, you got really close under the left-hand corner of the 041 truck of Andrew Dyson. Keeping it nice and clean though, as it looks like Stevie Dub's got a good run on Danny G here as well. So he'll close out that position and move himself up into 4th. Of course, former series champion of the truck series.
Yeah, winner of season 1 this year, Stevie Williams. So got a victory under his belt for the championship. Would sorely like to get another one, but a little bit further down in the order this year round, and just trying to get a couple of wins under his belt, which is always a good thing to do. But a good run there for the DPR Phoenix Smoker sponsored car 98 of Stevie W. He's having a good run at the moment. Just a little bit further back, you can see Lachlan Occhio just trying to make a bit of a move on Hamish Gallagher right now, and he gets that one done, getting underneath the slightly new livery to Hamish Gallagher. Of course, he's had that truck livery for so That is a new livery, isn't it?
That is an absolutely new livery, and I can't... Oh, no, there she is. I was going to say, I can't see Taylor anywhere on it, but no. She's there, of course, looking like...
She's on the lead.
Just doing what she can do behind the number there, but it's... anyway, the teammates still racing up in front as well as Danny G, Josh Mingamore on your screen now. Go through there. Oh, geez, the camera got real close, but just making their way through there. Lockie getting it down and then blocking off Hamish as well, so... Lachlan having a good run here. He's had a good start.
Oh, we got contact. Troy Davidson into the wall. Big incident behind. And this may cause a yellow. Will we see it? It just got into Chris Lifberg. Just up on the high side. Troy Davidson getting a big hit into the wall. Went up into somebody else. And they managed to keep it going. It was Aaron Hayden. He managed to keep that one going. Troy Davidson jumped out. So no caution. Watch him just bounce up there. He just tags the back of Aaron Hayden, unfortunately. Hayden's got a bit of damage to the front, but he managed to save that one. And Davidson just getting that one towed as quickly as possible, so the caution flag did not fall.
Yeah, it was good from them to do that, so that we didn't end up with a caution. So we continue here at Dover. 13 into 130, 14 now, as Martin crosses the line in the lead. Status quo at the front, Martin, Schultz, Dyson. And then Stevie Dubb, biggest mover so far is just Dave Douglas, actually, up 6 positions. Riley Curtis makes a liar out of me and makes it 7. So Riley Curtis...
Russell making a move as well, so J. Russ just making a bit of a move up into P10. So just getting past Ben Vickers there. So Jane Russell trying to get a little bit further up and show that he can do it on the concrete as well as on the dirt. As Lachlan Urquio is making a move on Josh Mickelmore at the moment as well. So Urquio getting a job done there.
He's got good pace at the moment, Lockie, so he'll be excited about what's happening so far up into P. Oh, as he drops out there. Big blink from Urquio.
Big blink there. Luckily, it looks like everything is okay.
Hopefully not a sign for the rest of his evening, but he's back in it now, so still in P5.
As we've got a caution flag, as
Luke Georgeson.
Luke Georgeson's got a blown motor, and that looks like he's taken a heavy impact into the wall. So he's just looks like he's had a bit of contact. There's been a bit of contact with Aaron Dillon in front of him. He's just gone down, and then unfortunately Dillon's just caught Mirko Dortnak, slid him into the side of Luke Georgeson, and Georgeson just went tumbling into the wall. So just a passenger in that situation. Nothing he could do there. Aaron Dillon just getting caught up with just in front of him, and that was just very unfortunate. So big shame for Luke Georgeson there tonight.
Oh yeah, he did. Just got tagged. He just couldn't quite catch it back, and then yeah, bang, there you go. You can see that one there. So no good for the After Dark Sim Racing team.
So we had the feign of pit stops. Josh Mickelmore was the last one to say, yeah, I'm not going to come in. And then Hamish Gallagher decided that he was going to come in. So we've got a split strategy happening. We've got Gallagher, Skurlock, Russell, Danny G, Hunter, Witcher, Maxfield, Finley, Donnelly, Lifberg, Jaeger, Schroeder, Patton, Mcleod, Douglas, Hayden, Bud, Dortnak. Pretty much everybody down past the leaders has come into pit lane. So everybody coming in. Does Gary Wellman stop? Yes, he does. So everybody past Justin Howe have come in for a stop. So Justin Howe will be the first car out there on the old tyres. So this is going to be interesting to see how it goes. Danny G looking like he is getting a full service. I think everybody's getting all 4 tyres put onto their trucks. So everybody's going for pretty much a full service tonight.
Thought you were going to explode then, trying to get everyone who pulled into pit lane out in a row, but you did very well to get through basically announcing the entire field. So we've got 8 cars out there who haven't pit yet.
I must admit, I was expecting half of those people to stay out. So when all those names started turning orange, I started regretting my decision there.
You've got it. Once you're committed, though, you've got to go the whole way, Carl. You did very well. Very, very good. But it is Martin out in front. There's no change at the front there with the top 5, 6, 7, 8 cars, 9 cars staying out on track. So it has helped Dave Douglas. He has jumped 13 spots now and is up into P16. And, of course, and has pitted Justin Howe, who hasn't, is equally up 13 positions into P8. So I want to watch Hamish Gallagher and the like on the restart to see how much difference the 19 laps will make on the quality of the product.
Watch out for Riley Curtis. He's made 15 positions in those pit stops. So Riley Curtis, a big mover. He's up 20. He's up to 23rd position, 15 spots gained, and Matty Raymond in 24th, 11 positions gained. Trying to keep that truck as clean as possible.
I was about to say, this is a bit more normal for us to see this from Matty Ray. So didn't do anything in qualifying, and then just slowly makes his way up towards the front when it all counts. So up 11 positions. Norm Clark behind him.
Matty Ray back to his usual form of using qualifying as a nice time to have a bit of a walk around, a bit of a stretch, and a bit of fresh air from outside, and get back into his seat and then get ready for the race.
Yeah, so, just a casual stroll.
That's it. You know, these drivers, they're very, very calm under pressure. They are something else. But once again, it's going to be Martin and Schultz leading away. Schultz back up into P2. Dyson down into P3.
So we'll go green this lap once the pace truck pulls in.
Keep an eye on that low line. The low line seems to be the best starting line tonight. It seems to just get a nice bit of a start on there. So watch out for Lachlan Urquio as well. Keep an eye out for him on that restart. See how he goes. Of course, you've got to be careful on the slightly older tyres because they do get a little bit worn and you do get a little bit more wheel spin. So you do have to take a little bit of care just not to spin them up. Obviously, they've not done too many laps, only 20, so they're not going to be absolutely melting off the rims at the moment. But the fresher tyres sometimes do help. Of course, starting on cold tyres does have a disadvantage as well. When you go out there's no tyre blankets in NASCAR racing, so you are basically on large, rock hard, cold pieces of rubber, and sometimes that can catch you out too. So it's not always a guarantee, but pace truck has gone in. Jason Martin leads the way. When does he put his foot down? He's waiting, he's waiting, he's waiting, he's waiting. And we are about to go green here at Dover for the trucks here on FGM eCast. Away Martin goes, gets a good restart there. Martin absolutely nailing that. You can see Aidan Schultz trying to move down to the inside to block off Andrew Dyson. Can't quite make it work at the moment. But behind him, Josh Mickelmore does perfectly to Lachlan Urquio, just blocking off that inside line for a moment. Aidan Schultz getting a good run on the inside, tries to make it work on Dyson, can't quite push it at the moment. He's trying, can't quite get that truck low enough. So Dyson has once again made that position back. That low line definitely seems to be the best starting line for sure. Watch out for Skurlock behind him. He's on those fresh tyres. Skurlock making a move up the field. He's already got past Stevie Williams. So Skurley is up behind Lachlan Urquio at the moment on that nice fresh set of boots, and he's making it work. He's using that low line, taking advantage of the fresher rubber. He's able to use a little bit more grip there. Takes a nice tight line there underneath. Josh Mickelmore makes it work, and Skurley's going to get another position. Skurley on an absolute flyer at the moment.
Yeah, it won't be too long before he's up. You can see up in front there, Urquio just off the right of your screen. But up in front, Aidan Schultz has got a run on Andrew Dyson. Oh, there's contact! There's contact there, and that is a big incident. You can see Lachlan Urquio there has been caught up in that knot of his making. And Skurley will be on the radio for sure. Absolutely unfortunate there. Hamish Gallagher involved, Matty Hunter involved. There's a big incident there involving a lot of cars. Let's try and unpack it.
So Scully's just got caught out by a little bit of a bump. So you can't really see it there. It looks like Skurley just turns up a little bit on Lachlan Urquio. What's happened is he's just got caught off on a little bit of a bump on the straight, and it's just turned his truck up a little bit. And he said over the radio, "I'm really sorry there, Lockie. Don't know what happened. I didn't turn up on you." And from his point of view, he did not turn that wheel at all, but he's just caught a little bit of a bump. The front right wheel has just lifted up a little bit, and that's just pointed his truck up. We'll be able to see it here. So watch this as he's going through here. All of a sudden,
he just gets back a little bit. Okay. Oh yeah, there it was. There, yeah. Just wound him up a little bit.
Yep, and it just unsettled him, and Lachlan Urquio was unfortunately the one to take the biggest bit of punishment from that, as well as Hamish Gallagher, I believe, and Christopher Finley. So a lot of big names caught up in that one. Gallagher just absolutely nailing Lachlan Urquio as well. He gets nailed up there as well, so that's a big name dropped out already. Jaden Russell too. And then there was a secondary incident behind as people just weren't quite lifting off. I saw a green car just going absolutely full pelt.
We should be able to see it well here. I think it's actually just a little bit further along than this.
Yeah, so it's just off of this corner, so it's just down the straight section. So it's just a little bit of a bump. This track has got a few little nasty bumps to it sometimes, and it just looked like Scurley just got caught out there. Didn't quite understand what happened because he was pointing it in a straight line, and then all of a sudden it felt like his truck went up. And you sort of see it when it actually happens. Scurley sort of going in a straight line, and then all of a sudden the right front just lifts up a little bit, and he just gets pointed up towards Mcleod. You'll see it right about here. So he moves down and just gets caught up on that little bit of a bump. You can see the right front raising up, and he just tags Lockie just in the rear. If Scurlock was about half a meter more in front of, like half a meter closer or further ahead of Urquio there, probably wouldn't have turned him. But he just caught him right on that rear quarter panel and spun him around, unfortunately.
Yeah, as everyone here tries to dive down to get out of the way, there's a bump in the background as well. I was just trying to identify who that was.
So there was a big one. I believe it was. Give me a couple of moments. I'll find out exactly who it was. There was Gary Wellman and Todd Maxfield. Both of those two just having a big moment. I think it might have been Wellman who sort of had the biggest one. He got caught out a little bit in that one, and just trying to avoid the accident, he got a big smash in that one.
On board here with Otis Cordwell, as he is about to find out that the track is blocked and just gets a clip on the way through as well. So that is a big incident. Don't get much bigger than that. Fair amount of the field involved, and it does have some championship implications as well. So Hamish Gallagher looks like he is out for the night, and we've got a number of cars in pit lane.
Just quickly, as the pace truck's coming around, and it will be coming in very shortly. So a lot of drivers came into pit lane. Aidan Schultz, Andrew Dyson sticking it out there. Michael Scurlock sticking it out there. Of course, he's on those fresh tyres. Justin Howe stayed out there. Those are the only three trucks on the starting tyres, unfortunately. And we're joined up in the booth by Lachlan Urquio.
G'day, boys.
Hey, Lockie. We would not want to speak to you this early, of course. Unfortunate incident there. Looked like Scurley just got caught out by a bump or something and just came up into you.
Yeah, it's one of the bumpiest stretches of asphalt on the calendar, that back straight, and I think it was unfortunate. If we'd have been door to door, it would have been the lightest of rub and we would have moved on, but I think because it just got me on the light bit of the car, left rear, it just kicked me around.
Yeah.
I'm really annoyed about it. Not because Scurley's, like, I'm not mad at Scurley, shit happens, like, it's the bump, it's not his fault, but it's just that I had a really quick truck tonight and I felt really comfortable with the truck, and that
definitely so
sucks.
you had some really good speed out there. Unfortunately, a big shame to see you out this early because you definitely had some good race pace out there. But as you say, unfortunately, these things do happen sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no hard feelings on Scurley, like, shit happens. That's how it works, but yeah.
Look, thanks so much, Lockie. Look, I wish you could see you out there for a bit longer. Hopefully, though, next time out, things will go a little bit better for you.
Yeah, well, I might try and get out and scrape some points out at the end, but yeah, not how I wanted to end the night.
No, for sure. Hopefully we'll see you out there and see a couple of points come into your pocket. We are back to green flag racing. Aidan Schultz is away nicely. Michael Scurlock making the move on Andrew Dyson already. Scurley is definitely coming up towards the field. Justin Howe got a good restart there. He's trying his best. Watch out for Dave Douglas. He is up 22 positions now as well. So Dave Douglas really pushing it at the moment. Little bit of contact between Howe and Dyson, I believe, just on the back of Dyson. They're just a little tiny rub there. Nothing major. But the big one at the moment is going to be Scurley. He's absolutely eating up the gap up front, getting towards Aidan Schultz, and he's looking to make the move as quick as possible. Just behind him, Justin Howe is trying to make a move on Dyson, and he actually does it. Justin Howe gets past Andrew Dyson now, up into P3. Justin Howe on the older tyres, remember, same as Andrew Dyson, so those two on slightly older tyres, but doing a good job of keeping pace at the moment, keeping ahead of Danny G and Cade Donnelly.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the battle at the front. Last lap around, Michael Scurlock put in the fastest lap of the race, so he is absolutely flying, and he is on to the back now of Aidan Schultz. He's going to be looking to get the move done. on fresh tyres. Highest place fresh tyre at the moment. Energy in 5th also. So Schultze under close scrutiny here from Michael Skurlock. 32 through 130.
Scully getting a good look at that rear paint job there, and just watching him, just keeping an eye on him, just not pushing too hard. Doesn't want to get those tyres too hot, of course. You can push a little bit too hard too early, and that can cause you some problems. But he is just keeping it there and just waiting, biding his time. And he's got a good run right now. Might be Scully's chance to make the move. He's got underneath Aiden Schultz, and down he goes. Later on the brakes, he's got a little bit more grip, a little bit more confidence, and he gets up to P1. Michael Skurlock taking the lead from Aiden Schultz.
Good job there from those two. Dave Douglas, the other one to have a look at. He is still moving through the field as well. Currently up into P7, 22 places up. Biggest mover of the night thus far. And he is all over the back of Cade Donnelly as well. He's trying to get in front of Cade. Cade's on the same tyre strategy as Dave, as is Danny G. A little bit of a bump there onto the back of Cade Donnelly. Slowed up a little bit more than Dave was expecting. Danny G there just grabbing the apron a little bit. That sent his truck a little loose. Just managing to hold on there. Cade just having a sneaky look down the inside with a bad exit. Not quite able to get it done there. Both on the low line. Dave decides Douglas to go on the high line. Is he going to be able to do anything here? He's going to probably get shut in. And he does, but he's got the draft benefit. A little bit of a benefit there from Danny G in front of him. So the other man checking in on the back of this one is Nigel Patton. So this little group continues to grow.
And Donnelly's got an inside of Danny G right now. He's going to try and make the pass happen. Gets a good run down the inside. Now Dave Douglas also jumping down to that inside line, trying to make that move happen. He's going to get past Danny G as well. It's going to be a sea of cars just sailing past Danny G at the moment. He's going to feel a bit helpless there. He's just got caught up on that high side. His teammate now making the move too. You can see Matt Hunter and Jason Martin making the move. Danny G sort of just got nowhere at the moment. He just can't get down on that inside line. He's finally got back down there now and just managed to get some damage control, but he lost a lot of positions in that moment. Meanwhile, up ahead of him, this is working out quite well for those guys that didn't stop. Aiden Schultz has pulled out a nice gap with Justin Howe. Andrew Dyson has got Cade Donnelly closing down on him, but he's got a fairly decent gap there. If these guys keep battling, that's good news for them. But Skurley has checked out by around about 2 seconds, so Skurley is absolutely on a move.
You can just see here Jason Martin on fresh tyres. He is all over the back of Dave Douglas now. He's making his way through the field like a hot knife through butter at the moment as well. So he is flying slightly fresher tyres again, pitting on 24 as opposed to Douglas on 17. So he is making his presence known as Douglas now makes his way past Cade Donnelly. Martin's going to try and go with him as Douglas gets up into the wall, and that gives Martin an opportunity potentially. No, just closes the door down across Martin at the moment. And underneath Cade Donnelly is Matty Hunter as well. So Hunter getting another position gained. So it's good driving from this group here.
Yeah, good run from Matt Hunter at the moment. Really nice drive so far, working his way through the field nicely. Jason Martin, as you said, on those fresher tyres, he's just able to run that lower line and just able to keep that car there, just use that extra bit of grip to his advantage and just slides it underneath Dave Douglas there. But Douglas is going to be keeping his eye on Martin and using him as a little bit of a pusher. So he's going to be waiting behind Jason Martin for him to make his moves. Although Jason Martin's not going to wait at all. He just gets up over high side of Andrew Dyson, is going to take that position through the high side there. Brilliant move by Jason Martin. He did not wait for the low line to appear. He just took it by force there. Dave Douglas now makes the move on Dyson, and Matt Hunter is just sticking to Dave's tail, just keeping him as the one to make the advantages. But Jason Martin is on an absolute flyer right now. He's got some really good speed. Wouldn't be surprised to see Jason Martin up there with Aiden Schultz in about 5 laps time.
Words that you can't say. Howie just there, just moving up. Martin saying that, don't worry about that, mate. I'll go down underneath or over the top. I don't really mind. Just I'll make my way through. Thank you very much. Does exactly that, wasting no time on the fresh rubber at all. And he's now off in pursuit of Aiden Schultz. So really, really strong stuff here, as you would expect from the number 21 Mitch Motorsport entry. And you can see, you can smell Schultz off in the distance and thinks, you're next, mate. I'm coming for you.
Yeah, no questions on Schultz's personal hygiene there, but Jason Martin can absolutely smell him, and he can smell the blood in the water at the moment. I've got to say, Jason Martin driving more aggressive than I've seen him for a long time, so he has really got He's really got the bit between his teeth at the moment. I've not seen Martin drive this aggressive in a long time. He is absolutely going for it. Oh, as we get a big slap in the wall as Nigel Patton, and this is going to bring out the caution for sure. Josh Mickelmore gets caught up in that, and that's the end of Mickelmore's night. Huge accident down the front straight as Patton gets caught up in the wall, and we have a huge checkup behind him.
Let's go back and try and unpack what happened there. We only managed to catch the end of it as the timing monitor went berserk. So we'll jump on here.
Something I often say, watch from Matty Ray's perspective.
Alright, well, let's go back here. Let's see, I've just got to find Matty Ray. Jump on board. There's, wow. Still not a scratch.
Did Matty Ray make it through that without getting a scratch? That is ridiculous. That is...
No scratches at all, as you'd expect. Just a good coat of Mr. Sheen before he heads out on track. But having a look here from Aaron Hayden's perspective, he managed to get that one stopped. No, he just cut his way right through that as well. So he managed to find the right line. The whole host of trucks go in. Justin Witcher and Chris Lethberg deciding to stay out at the moment. I'm just going to have a look at this from Nigel Patton's perspective as well. So
Days of Thunder moment there for him.
He's coming around. Oh yeah, he just got wide. That's what started it. He got wide and up into the wall, and the truck just stopped.
Yeah.
Dead on the road. So
absolutely dead there, and unfortunately one of the people got caught up into it was Riley Curtis, who's just seen jump up to the infield care centre. Riley Curtis, 93. Unfortunate to get caught up in that one.
Yeah, that was a bit of a shock, to be honest. I was just driving out of the corner and quite literally my view was obscured by the two Mitch Motorsport cars, and all of a sudden there's someone stopped there and not much you can do.
Yeah, it's strange sort of stoppage there. It's sort of like it just stopped dead in the road there almost, and really nowhere to go for yourself. You just went straight into the back, and I imagine that was your engine gone for the night.
Yeah, I was done instantly. It was a pretty huge hit. Like, I barely had time to hit the brake pedal, so it was big.
Big shame for you, because you were having a fairly decent run up until that point.
Yeah, I caught damage in that last caution. A few people behind me didn't slow as much, and got ran into, so I got that fixed, and I thought it was buggered because it was revving lower, but the way this track works, you can sort of run hard through the corner and it makes up for it, so I think I was making okay ground back through the field.
Well, look, we'll wish you better luck next time, Riley. Obviously, we always like to have a chat to you, but at this stage of the race, we'd rather not talk to you. It's much better to talk to you on the end of the race than halfway through it. Hopefully, better luck in the rest of the week for you.
Cheers, boys.
Thank you so much, Riley Curtis. RC Designs 93 there. And unfortunately, yeah, just getting caught up in that truck just absolutely stopped dead on the track, and that caught out a lot of drivers. Danny G was really lucky to get away with the amount of damage that he had. He has got a fair amount of damage on the front of that truck. He is coming in for some more repairs, but a lot of drivers got really heavily impacted in that. This has allowed Justin Witcher to jump up to the front of the pack, so he didn't come in for new tyres, neither did Chris Lethborg. So two drivers out there now on some older tyres, getting a good run up there and getting right to the front of the pack. And very nice paint scheme on Lethborg's truck as well, with the stabilised timber products Silverado there with the Reclaim Creative. A very nice looking truck, that one. But right behind him is Michael Skurlock, first truck to come into pit lane. He's going to be on nice fresh tyres again, and he's going to be on an absolute charge. Aidan Schultz just behind him, Jason Martin and Dave Douglas there. 23 positions gained for Dave Douglas. Watch for him on this restart. I feel like this restart's going to be a bit of a juicy one.
Yeah, it will be. There was a lot of pace on the track before that happened, and now everyone is on fresh tyres, bar these two gentlemen at the front, Witcher and Lethborg. So how are they going to handle the restart? Well, minimise wheel spin as much as you can, and hope for the best is probably where it's at, but we'll see how they get on with it. There's plenty of pace behind them.
That's it. There's going to be some very fast trucks behind them. And you've got to say, Skirley is in a good position, that low line. Jason Martin right behind Skurlock as well. Watch Jason Martin on this restart because he is going to be absolutely flying. We're seeing a bit more of an aggressive Jason Martin tonight. Will he carry that aggression through? We're going to find out as the pace truck has gone in. Justin Witcher is going to lead away in the number 10. Gets a good start there, gets away nicely, doesn't get too much wheel spin. Slides up the track a little bit, but does a good job of starting. Skirley is already there. He's making a move down the inside. Dave Douglas manages to block off Jason Martin as well as Aiden Schultz. Jason Martin's going to have to try the high side because he's got Andrew Dyson in front of him as well. Martin having a shocking restart as Dave Douglas gets caught. Douglas manages to save it. No, he doesn't. Dave Douglas into the wall. Big crash for Douglas.
Matty Ray not getting quite so lucky that time. Double D not able to catch that. He did for a little while, but not able to get it the whole way, and unfortunately has gone. Looks like Luke Trahair might have avoided the whole thing by ducking down into pit lane.
Trahair got big wallop on the side there as well, so Trahair got a lot of damage on that truck. He sort of got forced into pit lane from momentum rather than anything else because of the impact there. So just a bit of contact with Chris Laporte there for Dave Douglas, and then unfortunately the checking up behind him just caused a massive problem, and you can see there just the impacts there, and you can see that Luke Trahair just absolutely getting flung around, and he has got some serious damage.
Do you know who got really lucky there was Jason Martin. He copped a little bit of a hit to the right hand rear of the Mitch Motorsport entry, and he got real lucky not to cop that one. Can't quite bring that to you, unfortunately, but you can see it there, damage just on the right behind the right hand rear wheel. So that was Dave Douglas just getting on his way through and just clipping that one. So a little bit of damage to that truck, but fair few people lucky to make it through that one.
Yeah, look, just going to say with Matty Raymond, you said he got caught up in that one. Yes, he did. He actually got caught by Michael Schroeder, who was just checking up a little bit. So he just got caught in the rear. But other than that, he's got barely any damage on that. He managed to just check it up before he got involved in that incident. So he's got no damage to the motor, just a little bit of damage to the rear there, same as Jason Martin. So basically very similar looking damage for both of those trucks. So lucky for those two there. Just saw big shout out for After Dark Sim Racing as well. Unfortunately, Luke Georgeson got involved in an incident a bit earlier, and I think he is pretty much out of this one, unfortunately. 34 laps down, and Aaron Hayden as well. He is doing a lot better. He's up there in P9 at the moment, so he's having a much better race. So doing a good job out there, Hayden. Just keeping that one as tidy as possible at the moment, and a race like tonight, if you can keep it tidy, if you can keep it relatively scot-free out there, you're going to do well.
Yeah, absolutely, particularly with these big cautions that we're having involving a fair number of the field. There's
we are
big
indeed.
Dave Double D just uses the keys, lets himself into the combox. Dave, mate, that was you almost caught it, but the tank got away from you and off she went.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been in the infield care centre, but yeah, it straightened up for me. That's what annoys me. It straightened up, but it just would not sit. Like I chased it the whole way, and nothing I could do. I was out of control the whole time, really.
It was a big moment for you. Obviously, you just got caught up a little bit on that high side, and then it all went wrong from there. But up until that point, you were having a really good run.
Yeah, it was going really good, actually. Like, everything was going to plan as well. I thought it was going to go. And then, like I knew he was going to be slow on those old tyres, but then I didn't expect Dyson to try down the inside too. So I was sort of watching the inside as well. But you're looking back at the replay, it's actually net code. There's at least a wheel width between us. So disappointing that happens that way. But anyway, that's what happens.
A big shame. Is your truck absolutely out of it tonight? Is that the end of your night? Or are you going to be able to somehow get it back out there, possibly scrape a few points in there?
Nah, I think she's toast, mate. I think she's done. Put her on a truck, man.
Oh, that is a big shame. Look, we'll wish you better luck for the rest of the week, Dave. Thank you so much for joining us up here. Always a pleasure to speak to you, but we'd much rather do it in the end of the race when you win.
That's it, mate. Hopefully the rest of the racing is pretty good. Wasn't too bad up to that point, but yeah, we'll see you next time.
Thanks, Dave.
Dave Douglas there, unfortunately, out of this race. Do we have time for a quick chat with Norm Clark?
We do indeed, yes.
We'll bring Norm up into the booth there.
Well, I was you had the car, so I couldn't see you at all. And
Good day, Norm. Sorry.
Oh, that's all right. I might just leave him. I think he was doing a debrief with Dave there. We'll just leave them to have a little bit of a chat, and we might catch Norm a little bit later on.
Yeah, he was an unfortunate one in that crash. Just got caught up in that one as well. So it's going to be Skurlock leading the way. Aidan Schultz keeping that truck right up the front as well. So Schultz having a good run at the moment with Dyson as well. Those three trucks are relatively spot free. Of course, we saw that little bit of contact between Skurley and Urquio a little bit earlier on. Jason Martin, a lot of damage to the rear, but other than that, she's looking pretty good. And then we have Maddie Hunter having a really good run up there as well. Bit of damage to the rear, but he's having a decent run so far. Skurley's going to lead it away, gets away very well. Skurlock leading the pack away with Dyson underneath. Dyson gets the jump on Aidan Schultz. Dyson moving his way forwards, gets up in front of Schultz there. So Schultz is going to try and get the low line, see if he can get his nose underneath Dyson. Can't quite make it work this time. He's going to try and look to get back in that P2, but that restart on the low line has been very good every time.
Yeah, absolutely. You could see him there, just close right up on the back of Skurlock, got the jump at the right time, minimised the wheel spin, and that got him away. Jason Martin into fourth as well. Kate Donnelly up into fifth. We've got a good mix up at the front here. It's a good opportunity for people to try and convert.
Yeah, it's a really good opportunity for for a fair few drivers actually tonight to make some big jumps through the field and get some good finishes. Just got to try and keep it clean, keep it out there and keep it out of trouble. But so far, you've got to say Skurley is the one with the pace. He is absolutely flying at the moment. And don't forget about Jason Martin. We saw him beforehand getting some really good speed and getting very aggressive. A little bit of damage might just hurt his night off a little bit. Aidan Schultz has been very strong all night long as well. Starting off in P2, he set that really good qualifying lap, only to be toppled by Jason Martin, of course. But we know that Schultz has got some pace, and he's also been on a really good run of form lately, so hopefully he can keep that one up there. Kay Donnelly in P5 as well. Watch out for Kay Donnelly. He is always quick, and the Sim Boys have been having some good results lately. We'll see how that one goes.
Yeah, he's trying to chase down and hustle Jason Martin. No easy feat by any stretch of the imagination, but Carl, I can tell you what, this will be the first time in, I can't remember how long, that we will not see more than two Mitch Motorsport cars on the top steps of the podium, with unbelievably Josh Micklemore and Hamish Gallagher both out of this race.
Well, don't say it too yet, because Danny G is sitting down there in 14th position. Last time he was sitting in 14th, he ended up winning the race. So it's not over for Mitch Motorsport yet. They can still get their two cars up there, but it is going to be a lot more difficult. Danny G at the moment just trying to get up past Brent Hobbs currently. He's just sitting a little bit further down there. So Jason Martin just trying to work his way up there, just trying to catch onto the back of Aidan Schultz. So yeah, never say never for Mitch, because they can pull it out of the hat. But gotta say, it's a good race going on at the front between Schultz and Dyson. They are both putting pressure on each other, and if they keep battling like this, it's just going to help Jason Martin's night, and just help him claw his way up there, and also help Skurley just build a bit of a lead.
Now Skurley's set off in the distance. But Foster's jumped in the chat and said that Dyso's figured out the line. Aidan may be spending a few more right-hand front dollars at the moment. So he's all over the back of Dyso again now here. He's got the nose up far enough. Dyso will have to hold that line, and Schultz goes through up into P2.
Nice move there from Aidan Schultz, but has he done a little bit too much damage to that front tyre? That is the big question, if somebody's having a bit of a barbecue in pit lane with their engine. I keep noticing a bit of smoke on the screen and thinking, oh, somebody's gone rad. No, it is just an engine cooking. But Schultz has got some good pace, actually. As soon as he's got past Dyson, he's actually much faster. So he is absolutely flying out there. So Dyson was holding Schultz up a little bit there, and causing him to be a little bit slower than he wanted to get going at this stage. We've still got 67 laps remaining, so sort of a long way to go in this race. So, you know, you could be starting a little bit too fast, going a bit too much, becoming a hare too quickly, and then all of a sudden the tortoise could come along and spoil your night from nowhere.
It's a good battle here. Martin and Donnelly have closed up onto the back of Andrew Dyson as well. So we've lost a fair few trucks here. I think there's only 21. No, there's probably about 28 active runners out of a field. So
We've got
39.
About 20 left out on track. The rest are pretty much done and dusted. So there are a couple still just trying to circulate, trying to get a couple of points out there, but pretty much everybody out there has done it. The lowest truck at the moment is Luke Georgeson. He's 47 laps off at the moment. He could make up a fair few spots though, so he could work his way up into the sort of mid-20s if he can keep it going around and make some of those laps back, because there are quite a few DNFs out there tonight.
Yeah, we've had two big incidents, so you've just joined us. There's two big cautions already tonight in the 66 laps that have happened so far. So I'm looking for a good clean run to the end here. Michael Skurlock in the lead, up 6 places with Aidan Schultz and Andrew Dyson as your top 3 as it stands. The biggest mover of the night is Matty Ray, up 27 positions.
Yeah, it's not unusual to say that about Matty Raymond, and he is having a good night out there. He's trying to catch up to the back of Justin Witcher at the moment. Justin Witcher on the same strategy as Matty Ray. Both of those cars on slightly fresher tyres than the rest of the field, so Witcher and Raymond could be in for a little bit of a shout with that slight freshness of their tyres. As Edward Foster's just pointed out in the chat, it looks like Martin's just suffering a little bit with that damage to the rear. He's just not quite got the pace he had before, so he definitely is struggling a little bit out there. That bump to the rear has definitely offset that truck a little bit, and it's not got the same speed as it did at the beginning of the night.
Yeah, and of course that happened in the incident with Dave Douglas, just almost getting through unscathed, but just copying that slight amount of damage. I was just having a quick look at Glenn Mcleod. He is up into 9th position. He's coming under scrutiny by Chris Letborg, who has got slightly newer product on his truck. So he's able to push that one through and move himself up into P9.
Yeah, part of the Hobbs group of trucks, Mcleod, another sort of new face to the series as well, but having a good run up there in P10 at the moment. He's got his teammate and I think team boss behind him, of Brent Hobbs. So those guys having a really good run out there at the moment and doing a good job with Send It.
Yes. Send it SimSport. So
there's too many teams these days. It gets tricky sometimes. Meanwhile, Matty Ray has caught up to the back of Witcher. He's putting a little bit of pressure onto the number 10. The 83 and 10 are having a bit of a battle out there. Meanwhile, Martin is trying to catch up to Dyson at the moment. Still got a little bit of a gap, but he has managed to break away a little bit from Donnelly. So Donnelly out in the middle of nowhere. And Justin Howe is being caught by Witcher and Raymond. So there's going to be a bit of a battle going on for 6th, 7th and 8th very shortly.
So looking at the back of Justin Howe, number 78. You can just see, as Carl says, saying there, Justin Witcher and Matty Ray in the background, getting ever so closer. Certainly Witcher and Raymond in pursuit.
Good to see Justin Howe out there. It's been a little bit of time since we've seen Howie out there. And the lads racing team, but having a good run out there tonight. And Witcher up into the wall. That's going to cost him position as Matty Ray just sails straight past him there. Good recovery from Witcher. He manages to save that one, but gets a bit of a Dover stripe on there. Yeah, that's going to cost him a little bit of speed, but luckily it was not too heavy, so he should be relatively okay with that one.
It looks like there's been a change for position for P2. So just coming back to Dyso a little bit there. And he has managed to put the move on to Aidan Schultz and move himself back up into P2.
Yeah, as we were saying earlier on, if his Schultz has just used up a little bit too much, so those tyres a bit too early, and Dyson was just saving them up, so that is the big thing that's happened, and now Schultz is paying for that early pace. So Dyso getting past, and you've got to wonder, has Skirley been doing a bit too much too soon as well? He's been relatively fast out front, but he's been running consistently. He's got a good 2-second gap at the moment, but he is he could be in for some trouble if Dyson's got this hooked up, and he is sort of catching him a little bit as well. So Dyso in for a good shout here. So watch out for Dyso as this race goes on. Meanwhile, Maddie Ray has managed to get past Justin Howe. So Maddie Ray up into P6, 29 positions gained now. He's going to be trying to hunt down Cade Donnelly next. Quite a big gap between those cars. So we can keep our attention up at the front, I'd say, because that's going to be where the battle is going to start happening. We're going to see if Dyso has saved those tyres perfectly and start catching up to Mr. Michael Skurlock.
So Edward Foster called it. No surprises there. We've got a caution. Justin Witcher and Justin Howe have crashed. So that has got to be potentially in an attempted exchange for position. Let's go back and have a look. Oh, Wes just missed it there. Apologies for that. We'll go back and have a look at it there. Oh, Howie just got up into the wall by the looks of it and has bounced back out. Who got lucky? Oh! That's engine done in the number 10 entry. I'll just try and wind that back. Might just try and wind that back a few frames there. Let's see if we can catch the start of that one.
Liftborg got very, very close there. Liftborg got just a little bit of contact on the left front, so he got a bit of a tap from the number 10, so that's not what he needed to have happen. But just looks like Howie's just got up into the wall, and that was that really. So unfortunate incident for those guys.
Yeah, so not what we want to see, but 80 means that everyone's going to come in, grab a fresh set of tyres and battle it out to the end.
Gives those a chance to just have a bit of a reset, just have a bit of a breather.
We're all going to obviously do tyres here. Fuel won't be a problem from here. And Skirley, what's he done? Just got out nice and early. Dyso, good quick stop from him, so he's closed the gap up considerably. He gets that done. So the restart here is going to be very, very interesting.
Battle is back on. Danny G stuck it out there, so Danny G is probably going to come in this time round with a nice sort of empty-ish pit lane.
Yeah, he's doing
but
exactly that.
Importantly, he's on the lead lap, so that's something good for him. I think I'm wondering if Matt Hunter might be the one that gets the lucky dog, but we'll find out, I'm sure. Because everybody down from 10th onwards is a lap down now, so just 10 trucks on the lead lap now. We started off with nearly 40 trucks, and it's now down to 10 on the lead lap. We still have 20... actually less now, I think. Probably about 23, 24 trucks still running out there. Quite a few, though, have got some heavy battle damage, unfortunately. Dave Douglas has managed to get that truck out of the scrapyard and get it back out there, and patched it together with a bit of duct tape, and found the engine from probably a Nissan Micra and shoved it in there as well, and managed to get that back out there, and he's probably going to gain a few positions as well because the retirement rate's been pretty high tonight.
Yeah, it has, unfortunately. Unusual. Generally, Truck Series is pretty darn clean, so nature of the beast. But it's going to be Skirley and Dyso. Plays well for Aidan Schultz as well, who may have just gone a little bit hard on the start. So he's going to get the benefit here of a fresh set of tyres and be able to battle it out again for a top 3 position. Skirley probably lost the most there.
Yeah, it seems like Schultz has got a good short run pace, so this could be really good news for him. This could actually work out well, and also Schultz is going to have that low line as well, so we've seen that low line has had good restarts as well, so we'll see how Aidan Schultz goes on this one. Scurley, of course, losing that nice 2-second gap that he had beforehand, so not too easy for him. But it has helped people like Matty Ray close up to the front because he had a big old gap between himself and the front. And now he's closed that right up now, and he's going to be starting on that low line. So he's going to have eyes on Jason Martin, see what he can do there. So the trucks are going to start combining up. 2 by 2 they're going to go. It's going to be Michael Scurlock leading us away with Andrew Dyson on the outside for DPR. Hayden Schultz was here. Esports there in 3rd position. Jason Martin, Mitch Motorsport in 4th. Matty Ray, SRM in 5th, and Kay Donnelly for Simboys in 6th position. And Brent Hobbs having a good run as well, up into P7. Started 36th, up into P7 now.
As the Ants go marching 2 by 2 before we get underway, and Scurley jumps straight away here. Dyso tries to go with him as well on that outside line. Schultz not quite there on the restart, so didn't quite get the run, and that has allowed him down to that low line now. Matty Ray in behind him, as well as Jason Martin, so forming up here as they need to for hopefully the run to the finish.
Matty Ray getting a really good restart there, getting underneath Jason Martin, so he's managed to move himself up into P4 now. So 31 positions gained for the night for himself tonight, so usual day in the office for him, really. You know, it's slacking a little bit not to be up into P3 already, but I'm sure he'll be giving it a try.
Why would you change anything else? It seems to just work time and time again for Matty Ray, the patient long game.
Yeah, if he qualifies, you know, it's all going to go wrong. Starting at the back is his best option usually. Andrew Dyson on an absolute fly, just sets the fastest lap of the race with a 22.980. Dyso is starting to put the pressure on. He's going to try and put some pressure on Scurley early on, so he does not run away with this one. 45 laps remaining, and Scurley is in the lead. How will this one go towards the end here at Dover?
Mcleod jumping into the chat there and saying when you've got the ability, it's fun to work through the field. Certainly so, as long as you can avoid all the incidents. Definitely the case, but just so good to lead to the end. Who's going to do that now? Dyso working hard here, trying to catch on to the back of Scurley. Lurking. It's just opening up the gap ever so slightly now. Did respond with a slightly faster lap last time around than Dyso, and the gap now sits at just on half a second. So Dyson's got a good gap back to Schultz as well, so just starting to open up a little bit.
Still a long way to go in this race,
Absolutely.
though. Still 40 odd laps to go, or 42 laps to go, so you don't want to be pushing too hard. We saw how that front right can drop off, and it can cause you a bit of trouble towards the end of the stint. So if you can just sit back there and relax it a little bit and not push too hard too early, you can sometimes catch it back towards the end of the stint. So I think a few drivers have got that in their mind at the moment and are just keeping a relatively steady pace now, just running 2 laps that they want to run at, while a couple of others are thinking about running a bit faster just in case we get a couple more cautions. So it's a bit of a mix of strategies out there, a bit of a mix of hunting as well. But we have got racing throughout the field as well. The current race for the fastest of the cars a lap down is currently being led by Matty Hunter. He's just ahead of Glenn Mcleod, Raymond Yeager and Aaron Hayden. Aaron Hayden up into P14, so good run from him. Obviously, fair bit of damage on that truck, but the After Dark racing car up into P14 at the moment, started 26th, so not too bad for him. Brent Hobbs having a good run up in P7, started 36th, up to P7, in a relatively clean looking truck as well, so going well for him. He's just behind Kay Donnelly, so good result for those guys. So they're just keeping on at the moment, just getting into the rhythm and seeing how the rest of this race pans out.
Yeah, absolutely. Traffic doing a good job as well. So there's a few who've jumped back out. Trahair's back out in a modified truck, trying to complete that out. He got unfortunately involved earlier on, so he's a number of laps down, but back out, currently running in P23.
Lachlan Oakwell as well, back out. We heard from him earlier on. He's got back out there. He's 59 laps down at the moment, but there are quite a few trucks that he can get past and get some positions gained over them for championship position points. Of course, it's never fun having to drive a absolutely beaten up truck around and have to sort of sit there many laps down going, this is frustrating. But you have to think about championship points sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. He'll get himself into the low 20s if he keeps just circulating. So he'll pass a number of those cars that are out. So still definitely worthwhile, because those few points could make all the difference at the end of the season. And Skirley starts to make his way through some of that traffic.
Yeah, Scullock just losing a little bit of time as he started to make his way through the traffic. Dyson just getting to pass him at a little bit better, more opportunistic points. In all honesty, he's had a few better positions to pass them, so that's given him a little bit of advantage by a couple of tenths of a second. Schultz getting very loose on the apex of a corner there, just gets up into the wall almost. Aiden Schultz just getting so close to brushing the wall there. I thought I saw some damage appear, but it was just a little bit of netcode possibly. But he's up there. Meanwhile, Dyson has got into the wall. Dyson just makes a big crunch up in the wall, and that's going to give Schultz the run on him. Some damage to the right front of the DPR car. Dyson has got the damage on him as somebody has got a big moment of flashing. That's Aaron Hayden there just having a bit of a flash, unfortunately. So he's getting a bit of blinkage, which is never fun.
Particularly not for those around you.
That's very hard, and if you're sort of not familiar with the term, and it's a sort of thing that's really only predominant in online racing. Effectively, what happens if your connection starts to fail a little bit is your car will blink in and out of existence to those drivers around you, and it can become very distracting. And it can be a little bit scary as well when you're running on an oval like this, because you're running at such high speeds so close to each other. If a car blinks out of existence and then all of a sudden it blinks back into existence in front of you, it can be a moment where you tightly hold onto the steering wheel and take a deep breath, because you're going to have a big crash. So Aaron Hayden having a big moment out there. He might have to bring that one into pit lane soon if that connectivity doesn't sort itself out. Unfortunately, Australian internet not known for its stability sometimes.
Or its pace.
Yeah, it's not. The only thing it's known for is being rather crap.
Well, every now and again, yeah, absolutely. But we've got to work with what we've got.
Yeah, at least it's known for something. It's best at one thing. But yeah, unfortunate there, and it's one of those things, especially on oval racing, it is much more noticeable and a little bit more distracting as well. But meanwhile, up front, Skirley is doing a good job of keeping pace. He's managed to pull out a 1.5 second lead over Andrew Dyson, so getting a good run there. Aiden Schultz still keeping behind Dyson. Just looks like he's saving a little bit of tyre towards the end, same as Matty Ray and Jason Martin, both of them with a bit of damage on the rear of that truck as well. So very similar damage to Matty Ray and Jason Martin. Looks like they're having a good run, but might not be able to give the amount of pace that they want to. Kay Donnelly just sticking on to the back of this one in P6 as well. Brent Hobbs has fallen off a bit of the rest of this pack. He's down in P7, but still on the lead lap, most importantly. Chris Lefberg as well, up in P8 at the moment, still on the lead lap, and Danny G out there as well. A lot of damage on the right front of that truck, but on the lead lap, although Skirley is catching him pretty quickly.
Yeah, he is. He's doing good things out the front there, just managing to make his way through without too many interruptions. Matty Hunter still leading the chasers. In fact, that is not the case anymore. Brent Hobbs is now leading those a lap down. So he's currently running in P7, so Skirley up that far through the field. Oh, no, he's not. No, sorry, my timing monitor there was delayed, excuse me.
I was about to say, I think there's something going.
No, there is.
Going on there.
It's all good, it's fixed up again now, so it is still Matty Hunter.
Yeah, still Matty Hunter. Danny G has got Luke Trahere between himself and Mr. Mickey Skurlock at the moment, so he's got a little bit of a gap. So if caution comes out now, of course, Matty Hunter would get the lucky dog moment and get back on the lead lap. Meanwhile, Jason Martin and Matty Raymond are having a bit of a battle out on the track, and Jason Martin makes a position. So Jason Martin's decided it's time to start moving that truck forwards, as Matty Ray just hooks himself up right to the back of Martin's car. and you can see Kay Donnelly doing the same. So those three are going to link themselves up with each other and start pushing along, see if they can start catching up to Aidan Schultz in front of them and start making an impression on the front pack. If they can, see if they can get up into the top three at least.
Got a little bit of work to do. Still time to do it though, 25 to go here. At Dover out of the 130, so still got time to get there. It's got to get to work though. 1.3 to Aidan Schultz, who has been conserving, but he also is closing up on Andrew Dyson, or still maintained the gap to Dyson. You can see Martin there though, just getting in front of Ben Vickers. Juice Digital entry. But Aidan Schultz now harassing the back of Andrew Dyson. A little bit of damage to the back there of Dyson's truck. Perhaps that playing a part in it.
Yeah, Dyson getting a bit of a big whack into the wall a couple of laps back, and that has just taken away a little bit of pace on him possibly. So Dyson just struggling a little bit out there now maybe. But still having a good run up there. Just Schultz is putting on all the pressure, and while he's doing that, of course, that's going to start chewing up the tyres. He's sitting right behind the truck in front of you. It does tend to cause a little bit more heat to come through and starts to cause a little bit of problems here and there. 22 laps to go, so 22 miles left of this race as we are here at the Monster Mile Dover International Speedway here on FGM eCast, your place for e-pace. Of course, if you can, make sure to hit that subscribe button for YouTube. It does make a huge difference. You can catch all the races on replay and some highlight packages there, as well as a few other goodies here and there. And we are trying to make the YouTube platform grow, but we appreciate your love everywhere, of course, no matter where you are, Facebook, Twitch and other places. Thank you very much for watching tonight. We're getting to witness another great battle here as Schultz just tries to make the move, doesn't quite make it there. Dyson closes the door there with some aggression. That door was slammed shut on Aidan Schultz, but Schultz has definitely got a bit more pace at the moment, and while these two are battling it out, it's given the purple mixed motorsport truck of Jason Martin the opportunity to just close the gap. Jason Martin is just getting a bit closer every single lap and starting to force his way there, trying to get another top three finish tonight.
You see out the back here of Schultz's truck that purple Mitch Motorsport car that we are so familiar with seeing at the front of this category, and he is on his way. So Schultz here really needs to make the move past Andrew Dyson. Feel a little bit like Dyson's holding him up, but you've got to get past him to prove it. Scully, in the meantime, has continued to check out at the front. He's now 4.3 seconds to the good, so the longer these guys battle, the more it is that he will be able to continue to make his way away.
Yeah, Scully just sitting there with a wry grin at the moment, just happy about the battle that's going on behind him because it's giving him the chance to pull away a little bit. And you've got to say, you know, you're only being held up by a driver until the point that you're past him. You can't say that somebody's holding you up until you manage to get past them and drive off in front of them, because up until that point they're defending and they have absolutely earned their place in front of you. So good driving there from Dyson, just managing to keep that second place locked in at the moment, but he is definitely struggling a little bit.
Yeah, no doubt at all that is the case. So we'll stay focused on this one for the minute. Matty Ray's just dropped off in the back. Kate Donnelly dropped a little bit further off him as well. So those battles look like they have run their course. So this here where we're expecting to see some fireworks as Martin closes up again a little bit more onto the back of Aidan Schultz. So soon enough this will be a 3-truck battle for third position.
Yeah, Matty Ray has to watch out because Brent Hobbs is doing a great job tonight, 29 positions gained. If he can get past Kay Donnelly, he'll equal the most positions gained in the race, and Matty Ray could lose that title for tonight. He does like to get the most positions gained award, but it is pretty close between him and Brent Hobbs at the moment, who's doing a fantastic job up in P7. So doing a really nice job there at the moment, and sitting quite comfortably there, but the battle is definitely on for the moment for P2, 3 and 4. It is really close between these guys.
Just playing the waiting game now, seeing who can do anything. That gap's just opened up to Dyson now, so Dyson half a second to the good over Schultz. So is it too little too late now, and is it going to be Jason Martin who puts the move on Aiden Schultz to move into third? See there, Dyson just dealing with some traffic. That may impact as well on this result.
As that traffic gets down in front of Aiden Schultz, that's going to cost Aiden Schultz a lot of time there. So Schultz just getting the bad part of that traffic. Look, just the thing is, they don't have any blue flags. There is no reason for people to get out of the way. You have to overtake them. They don't have to get out of your way. They don't have to jump out the way if they don't want to. And that's the thing about oval racing, is it's all down to the drivers to do the stuff. It's not down to lap traffic to jump out the way. But of course, when you are a few laps down, it is usual etiquette to sort of make it a little bit easier. But of course, etiquette is one of those things with drivers, as it doesn't always happen, and you're not obliged to it. Different definitions of what it looks like, I guess. That's it. Everybody has their own little thing of etiquette, and the driver's rules. The driver's own personal rules. We've seen it in many forms of motorsport, mean many different things as well. And usually, when it comes to an actual points-paying result, that all gets thrown out the window, and everything changes because everything goes. Looks like it's cost Martin a fair bit too, because he's now nearly a second off the back of Aiden Schultz after closing that gap with 10 to go. You think maybe there's not going to be a lot more he's going to be able to do about that. The pace differential just not that big. Oh, we've got a truck off on the inside. Are we going to see a caution here? Probably not. I think I managed to pull it in before the flag came out. It was Igor Burkic, I believe. I think looks like he's had some kind of failure of some kind. I did see him coming into the pit lane because he was having a relatively good run up until that point, but it looks like there's been some kind of mechanical failure there, or some kind of equipment failure possibly. So yeah, that's a bit of a strange one there, so yeah, I'd say that's some kind of failure of mechanical kind for Igor Burkic, because he was having a strong run up in the higher end of the top 20 before that, but unfortunately looks like his race is run. Some temperature gone there, so a bit of a failure somewhere in the region of that car and steering rig. So unfortunate for Igor Burkic there. But meanwhile, the driving still goes on. Dyson has managed to pull out a nice bit of a lead. So the top four have got a nice bit of separation at the moment. Everybody's got a bit of a spread out field at the moment. There's nobody really that close to each other. So they're all having a bit of an easy run. Meanwhile, Chris Liftbog's the first truck that is a lap down now in P9. So he will be the recipient of a lucky dog if it does come out. Hopefully we won't get to see that yellow flag anymore tonight. But a good run from Chris Liftbog up there in P19, 10 positions gained. So pretty happy with that one. Obviously not the cleanest of nights, but it has worked out pretty well for you. If you end a night gaining positions, that's always much better than losing them. I do like the fact that livery imitates having a tray full of wood in the back of it. It's a very good livery indeed. So we've spoken about that one tonight, but yes, it is Skirley. He's just got 4 to go. He's got a little bit more of the traffic to deal with, and he'll be hoping that it is green running from here. He's going to cruise to victory, but he will make his way through and take the win. Yeah, Scully will be hoping to not see that yellow flag. He'll be hoping there won't be a green white checker for sure, because that could be something that ruins his night and makes things a little bit less easy for him. He's going to be hoping for a relatively quiet one now, and just a nice easy run those last 2 miles to the end of this race with 2 laps remaining here. Less than that now 1.5 laps remaining here tonight. Michael Scullop, really good run from P7 to P1. Andrew Dyson currently sitting in second with Aidan Schultz in third. Jason Martin fourth. Matty Ray currently sitting in fifth position. And there's enough spread that there's not really too much surprises happening, I'd say, unless we have something very dramatic happening. And being that it is motorsport, that can always happen.
Absolutely.
As the white flag goes out, Skirley is coming around for the final time tonight. Just half a lap remaining for Mr. Skirley Whirly. The Welsh Wizard is going to come around and take another win in ANZCAR. A great drive for the 350 of Michael Scullop tonight. We saw some great battling and we saw some great strategy calls. A fantastic result. Michael Scullop takes the win just ahead of Andrew Dyson, getting another good run on the ovals. Aidan Schultz getting P3. Another great result for Aidan Schultz, getting himself back up here into the booth in P3. Jason Martin finishes in fourth position. Matty Ray comes home in fifth with 30 positions gained for the night. Not a bad night in the office. Cade Donnelly in sixth place. Seventh is Brent Hobbs, taking his third P10 of the season. Really good run for him as well. 29 positions gained. Danny G in eighth. Good run considering the damage he had. The last car that was not a lap down. P9 for Chris Livborg. Good result for him. Good debut, I think, as well. I'm pretty sure this is the first time I've seen him out there as well. So P9, very strong finish. And Matty Hunter rounds out the top 10. Very good result for Matty Hunter. Clean race. Just kept it there. Kept it nice and steady and got himself a P10.
Yeah, absolutely a good result. As the celebrations begin for Michael Scullop. It's the wall for the first time tonight. Good time to be doing it. Luke Dreher just sliding down in there as well. Say hello to Mickey while he's down there.
That's it. You got to say hello to Skirley and just get a little bit of TV time on the car as well.
I was going to say maybe just getting it on the stream for him. Of course, we give him plenty of coverage as well. So let's wait for the drivers to jump in to the green room. It'll be Schultz, Dyson and Skurlock to join us for a chat at the end of this race. As we mentioned earlier, back tomorrow night, earlier start time of 7:20 for the Oz Pro-Am Sim Series double header. With Pass 2 joining that series from tomorrow night, so that will be one to look forward to, and it is an off week for the Cup. So no stream on Thursday night, but Wednesday, of course, back with the Thunder Series as well. So still plenty to come.
Plenty of action for the week. It's still a lot of motorsport to come throughout the week, so don't go anywhere. Make sure, as I said, to subscribe and keep an eye on FGM Ecos, Ferguson Group Media, for all of your motorsport needs. Get the fantastic oval racing action side, and as well as the fantastic GT3s and the odd wild card that we will be seeing tomorrow night at Spa-Francorchamps.
Yeah, absolutely looking forward to that one. So we've got that coming through. LMP2s, I think, in the Caddy.
And the Radical.
The Radical, I should say, sorry.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a fun race to see. It should be very, very good, particularly at Spa. One of the best tracks in the world.
Been brushing up on your Spa trivia, of course.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, Carl. I spend most of my time brushing up on random facts of trivia now to try and support the quiz, so we'll see how that goes tomorrow night. But a couple of guys in here now from the... there he is there. Finally, Mickey Skurlock gets out of the smouldering 350, but we'll kick things off tonight with Aidan Schultz.
Well, it's becoming a bit of a regular thing, Mr. Schultz, getting up here in the booth.
Yeah, mate, it was a good race. I tell you what, I'm sweating. I forgot to put the fan on today, so she was a hot one.
You forgot to put Prue on?
No. Yeah, well, that's what Ed said. She goes better anyway, but happy with a P3, mate.
No, congratulations, Aid. Look, we've been getting you in the booth a fair few times these last few weeks. Obviously, things are going better for you at the moment.
Yeah, a couple of things have changed. I don't know if you follow socials, but a couple of things have changed, which has helped. So just stop those incidents and being able to make smarter decisions. Pace has never been an issue. It's just been able to relax and convert a race, which we've been doing a lot more often than not lately. So it's been good.
Yeah, definitely those changes making a difference and great to see. It's been good to have you up here in the booth as well because we always love having a chat with you. And look, the second week in a row with the trucks as well.
Yeah, from dirt to now Dover. So I don't usually go well at Dover, so I'm quite surprised. I thought I had something for Dyson then, but he was just a little bit too quick in the end.
You say you don't go well at Dover. You almost managed to get pole if it wasn't for that pesky Jason Martin, of course. But a really good qualifying time for you. You just pulled that out of nowhere.
Yeah, I was sort of comfortable through practice. It was that close, like through practice. I knew that you had to put your lap together in qualifying, so I was pretty happy. I didn't think I'd get pipped, but Jaso got there, but I knew that meant nothing going into Dover with tyre degs, so I just tried to stay at the front as much as I could and keep out of trouble.
Yeah, speaking of tyre deg, we saw you sort of in the mid-stint, you managed to get past Dyso and start getting a bit of a run away with it, but it looked like your tyres just started falling off a little bit towards the end of that stint.
Yeah, they did. Scurley, I'm not sure. I believe he might have taken tyres in that second caution. I didn't because I didn't want to go back into the field. Made my way past Dyso and he was slowly pegging me back, but I thought I'd be able to do that again in that last green run stint, but obviously learnt to drive it a little bit differently. And we're sort of even, but in those last sort of 20 laps, he was just half a tenth here and there. And I was just watching that gap to Jason Martin. I thought he was coming, but a couple of lap cars helped me with that one, I think.
Yeah, that's it. You know, a good result in the end and managing to keep Jason Martin off your back in a truck is never an easy thing to do, but you managed it tonight and you managed to get another P3. So always good to have you up in the booth, and this is going to help with the old championship results. I mean, it was a little bit of a rough start for the season for you, but I imagine you're going to be climbing up the championship board relatively well with these results coming in.
Yeah, hopefully. It's not about championship for me lately. It's just all about getting 0x races and clean races, and where I finish. And yeah, another P3, so happy with that. And we go to Charlotte Roval, I think, for the Cup next week, so I'm usually okay around there, so looking forward to that one as well.
Look forward to seeing you and back in the trucks next time out as well. Thank you so much, Aidan. Before I let you go, the usual thing, a shout out and love to all the people out there.
Of course, as always, my beautiful partner Prue, number one supporter, Ruben and all the guys at Aussie Esports. FGM eCast, obviously, for the broadcast. I'll be watching that back later. Big congratulations to Scurley on another masterclass and Dyso on the P2.
Thank you so much, Mr. Schultz. Next up, we will head up to Mr. Andrew Dyson. Congratulations on that P2, mate. Really good run out there. You had some good pace.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Thanks, boys. Had a bit of fun. It's good racing all around, really.
It's definitely something that's been coming to you more and more, of course, and you've always been pretty good on the sort of slightly shorter tracks, and you had some really good answers for people tonight as well. It seemed like you just had that really good long run pace.
Yeah, the long run was pretty good. I was hoping the mid long run anyway was pretty good. I was hoping it'd be a long run at the end, but I ended up smacking the fence and done myself a bit of mischief and basically had to use the tyre up just to stay second. But it's that's the way it goes. I should have been focusing better, but that was still good fun.
Yeah, we saw a couple of little taps against the wall, but nothing too major, obviously. It didn't slow you down too much, but obviously, did it take much out of your confidence when that happens?
Oh, not really. I just tell myself I need to get my act together and I'm a bit of a clown and focus on what I'm doing, and it usually comes good. Normally it's just lack of concentration, really, but it's to my own detriment, so bad luck.
No, well, again, another solid result for you, and this is going to be, we heard before with Aidan Schultz just chatting away, championships aren't too much of a thing for him, but for yourself, obviously, you must be having a little bit of an eye on that championship with your current standing in third in the position, and obviously with Mcleod having a bit of a bad run tonight, this is going to be good news for yourself. Yeah,
I noticed the championship last week. I haven't really been paying attention to it. It's not why I'm rocking up, just rocking up for a bit of fun. But it's nice to get a few races together without wrecking out every once in a while. So I guess that's what's getting me up there.
Yeah, look, it's been a good season for yourself. I think it's only yourself and there's it was only yourself and Jason that had the two wins between you up until this stage. I think Mr. Scurley has now equalled that. No, he hasn't. Sorry, he's only the one win. This is his first win of the season. So, yeah, you've got the most wins currently this season. with Jason Martin. So not doing too badly, obviously. But some good solid results for you. And, with the whole oval side of things as well, it must feel good for you to just know that you're getting up there and becoming pretty much a regular face at the top steps of the podium.
Yeah, nearly a regular. Probably not as much as a regular as some of these blokes because they know how to turn left pretty good. But it's consistency is what's probably getting me up there, like you said. And I think we've all had one bad round. I think I had a DNF at Talladega, I reckon, or one of those tracks. But I think everyone's had a DNF or a bad round here and there, so it's evened it out for sure.
Oh, look, it's always the way. There's always that one bad round. Usually it's at Talladega where the big one happens. But if you get through Talladega,
I never have a good race at Talladega, bud. So forget it.
If you get through Dega unscathed, you usually do it pretty well. No, congratulations tonight, Dyson. Well done again for another podium finish. And before I let you go, the usual thing of shout out and love.
Yeah, for sure. Congrats to Skirley. He was way too fast for me, so tried to learn a few things, but just thrashed tyres off it. Good job, bud. Good racing there with a few of the other blokes. Aiden, can't remember who else there was early on, but no, it was good fun. I'm sure they know who they are. They're all up there, so it was good stuff. Shout out to you boys for the broadcast. Shout out to ANZCAR for putting it all together. And shout out to Simrix.com, Phoenix Smokers, South Elliston Hoist, and all those other boys. Thanks heaps.
Always welcome. Congrats, Dyson. I'm sure we'll catch you in the booth shortly.
Oh, I hope so. See you boys.
Next up, we will head to the Welsh Wizard, the Irish irrigation expert, the Scottish scamp, Mr. Michael Scurlock.
Irrigation expert.
How was that?
I like it, mate. I like it. I'll take it. Good, mate. Doing well. How are you?
I mean, you've got to be happy with that one.
Yeah, I'm surprised with that one, to be honest. It wasn't... I came in late. Like, I didn't realise this time shift happened, so I was watching the NFL when I was just kicking back, and then I thought, I'll have a look to see who's online, and then looked, and everyone was in the server already. I was like, what the hell's going on here? So I joined up, and apparently daylight saving is a thing now. So, I don't know. I didn't feel that great, especially in practice. Quali didn't feel that good, but, I don't know. I just must have done something right in there.
Well, I'd say, qualifying 7th. I mean, for anybody else, that would be a great thing to have happen. For yourself, that's probably, just a little bit lower than normal. But a fairly average qualifying for yourself, but the race pace was there. You had that really good long run pace, it seemed.
Yeah, I just remember the last time we came here, just let it roll in a bit, sort of wait on it a little bit and then gas it out. And if you just keep doing that over and over, eventually people that go too hard fall off and you can keep going. So that was obviously the ticket and it worked. It's the same, must have been the same as what the Cup car was like because I was just copying what I did in that. I did get a bit feisty there after that second restart because we had a caution and a lot of the front guys didn't pit. I was like the first guy on newer tyres, so obviously I had a bit more speed, so I was passing people left and right, and then Lockie was fucking... Oh, God, I can't help it, eh? Lockie was hammering. He was going good, and I just snuck underneath him, and I presumed he was going to go all the way out to the wall because it's such a tight little track. It's real claustrophobic, and you just you don't really know where you are half the time because you're just sort of hanging on. And, I moved up thinking that was where my line was, and he obviously left a little bit of room to the wall, which he's allowed to do that. And I've accidentally tagged him on the left rear, and it spun him, and I think that might have taken out a lot of big players, to be honest.
Yeah, you did do a bit of a bowling pin move there and get a bit of a strike, so you did take out half the field, but other than that...
7-10 split, mate.
Yeah, that's it. It's we were watching that one over and we were mulling over what happened because it looked like you might have hit a bit of a bump or something, but you sort of tell it wasn't intentional. We had Lockie up here in the booth and he said the same thing really. Very much just unlucky with where it hit the truck because it was at that point at the back where if it was maybe a couple of centimetres further forward it wouldn't have spun it around, but where it touched was just at that pivot point and unfortunately around he went. But other than that, it was a darn good race for yourself, and as you said, you got nice and feisty in there, gave us some good things to watch, some good things for the highlight package, and then at the end of the race you were no one untouchable.
Yeah. No, I'm happy with that, mate. I think being out front is definitely a bit better. Aiden did well there on that second restart because I had new tyres again on the third restart, I think, and I was going, he's faster, he's going well, like, because he was just holding me off for a while. Eventually, obviously, the tyres never lie, but no, he's been doing well lately, and Dyso's always putting in solid finishes as well, even on tracks he doesn't like, so that could be scary for the future.
No, it's a horrible thing to think of, Dyson getting quicker. He's quick enough already. No,
Just keep it on one specialty, mate.
yeah, that's it. We'll chuck an extra couple of kilograms in the car just to make it a little bit more even. No, congratulations, Scurley. Well done on another victory. First victory of this season of Trucks, of course, for yourself. So you've managed to get the win on the board this season. Obviously not doing the full year so far, but will we see some more truck races later in the season?
Yeah, mate, yeah. If I'm around, I'm here.
Good. All right, you look after yourself. And before I let you go, the usual thing of shout out and love to all your adoring fans.
Yep, thanks to the Bad Banditos, BMXers, just all the other competitors out there. You did a good job tonight. And you guys for putting on the show. And Stewie, like the broadcast is looking better and better all the time, different camera angles and that. Like, definitely fine-tuned those. They're looking good. So everything's going well.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Scarlett. Pleasure to have you in the booth. I'm sure we'll get you back here relatively shortly, but other than that, you have a good night.
Thank you, mate. Bye-bye.
So, Stuart, another great race. We had some great action out there tonight, and Dover is done.
Absolutely. Tell you what, a couple of the biggest incidents we've seen for a while. I'll be getting a crack out on the replay screen. Thanks for the kind words there, Scurley. And to everyone who tuned in tonight, we appreciate you in the chat as always. So do look out for those replays and highlights. Follow us on all the social media channels and turn on all those buttons and bits and pieces you need to. We definitely appreciate it. But we'll be back again tomorrow night from 7:20, and we look forward to seeing you then. And from us, Carl Withy, Stuart Brown, it is a good evening from FGME Cast, your E-Place for Pace. A good night.